Hello everybody, welcome to the Cage Tales React. Today we're going to be talking about the new Luke Cage trailer. I'm guessing the final trailer before the series comes out on Friday, the 30th of September.
Which is like really close.
Yes, it's like, next Friday.
Yeah, it's this Friday.
Next Friday, this Friday, doesn't matter. It's September 30th.
Friday.
That's this Friday.
No, it's next Friday.
It's this Friday.
Well, I mean, it's after.
I mean, it depends on how you define Friday.
Exactly. Well, I think we all define Friday the same. No, but seriously, this trailer was awesome. I say that every single time, but it's because they're all so good.
Well, let's take it a step back and call it different.
No, it's awesome.
It's awesome. It's awesome for sure.
No, it's totally different because they showed a lot. This was a long trailer, over 3 minutes. And, I mean, it showed lots of new footage, especially footage of not only more of the antagonists, but all of the women in Luke Cage's life. Mm-hmm. So you had Misty Knight, you have Mariah, you have Claire Temple, the nurse. Yep. Everybody, they were getting a lot more play this time. And just showed a lot more action. It showed him being shot a lot. I'm guessing they're playing heavily into, this is what I can do. I can walk towards you while you shoot me.
Yep.
I'm sure they're going to go a little bit more more action-packed than I walk towards a man with a gun every single time. But
it's just cool to see him not do anything other than walking while getting shot.
There was some pretty sweet gags in there too. You know, trading sweatshirts with that guy. Stan Lee. Sweet Christmas. It's awesome to hear that finally in live action. You know, the Stan Lee poster was really, really sweet. Dave, what did you think? I know you haven't been following this super duper close, but
I was interested. I mean, I know next to nothing about Luke Cage other than he's a man who has powers.
Do you know any of his powers?
He's nigh indestructible.
Right. Only on the outside though, just his bulletproof skin, basically.
They showed that in Daredevil.
Yeah, exactly.
Or not, Jessica Jones. Goddamn.
Yes, Jessica Jones. I'm sorry. Yeah, same thing. We see Claire, you think Daredevil.
Yeah.
But they referenced that too. You know, she was saying like you still should have died from the shotgun blast, whether you're superhuman or not. So he is on a pretty high level. Probably the, depending on what we see of Iron Fist, probably the strongest of the Defenders.
Right.
Which is really, really cool. And I like that they're going to show other obstacles. It's similar to Superman stories. Superman is like you said, it's indestructible. You know, he's a person that doesn't normally lose and or die. So until he does. Right, until he does, exactly, from MacGuffins and or plot devices. So you have to toss in different things, different sorts of obstacles. Right. In this one, it seems more like Luke Cage's reluctance to become a hero, which is similar to the comic books. I'm curious if they're going to, towards the end, like, I feel like there's going to be a redemption arc. According to that trailer, it really seems like, yes, he's going to come around, he's going to be a hero, but I think it's going to go one step further. He finally sheds that persona, becomes a hero, and then gets scorned.
Comes back.
And yeah, exactly. And then becomes a hero for hire. And is like, listen, like these people don't want me to save them, so I'm going to charge them.
Yep.
And then that enter Danny Rand. I really hope that's where we find him when the Iron Fist series finally comes out.
Yeah.
Anything that you noticed that you really want to talk about?
I mean, I myself have not been into the whole like in movies and other TV shows, like the whole like gangster style of just, I don't know. It was never appealing to me, but this seems so cool. They're in Harlem. There's gangsters around. There's a power grab of just money and obviously power.
Right. No, but everything. I do get what you're saying there. Someone I'm trying to remember. I don't remember who was talking about, but I do see what you're saying. Where like it is a power struggle, and it's very, very ground level. It's in the streets. There's a gang war clearly going on. And I get what you're saying, where that's not quite your thing, but you toss in Luke Cage in there.
Right.
And
it
like,
almost makes it my thing. Because it's Luke Cage.
Just because it's Luke Cage.
I just remember growing up, there's a lot of movies out there where basically that happens. Like that gangster.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cliche type of thing.
It is. I mean, you have mafia / gangster movies, and it's always just, okay, so this guy... I mean, look at
same
Scarface.
thing every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scarface is like one of the biggest movies from our generation, and it's the same story every time. But then not even just throwing a superhero in, just throwing a hero into it.
Right.
Where it's not an anti-hero, it's not someone going, oh, I'm going to wreck it from within.
Yeah.
It's the dude who's like, you know what, I'm going to step up and protect my place. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be a cool story. And it really seems like the world's not out to get him, which is really cool. Yeah. As you saw with Daredevil, as you kind of saw with Jessica Jones, it always becomes like a different type of storytelling. It becomes, oh, these guys are heroes, we need to be mad at them for some reason. Mm-hmm. And it seems really like everything they've shown, where like I keep pointing at our computer screen
because that's where we just watched
that's where we just
so.
watched it. It keeps showing people happy to see him.
Right.
You know, all these people need a defender.
Right.
Name drop.
Exactly. Even Misty Knight, who's a cop in this, seems happy to see him.
Yeah.
And that's a good change of pace. Where you see Daredevil and he called him a vigilante. Jessica Jones, they only called her a hero sarcastically.
Yep.
Everybody in this has called him a hero or tells him he should be a hero, which is a really good change of pace. Even in the movies, they've shown, Cap is a bad guy because he wants to go fight crime eventually. Stark has to change and work for the government if he wants to be a hero. So it's cool seeing them relegate a ground level superhero and actually call him a hero instead of, oh, this guy might be a menace.
Right.
There's no J. Jonah Jameson going, oh, he's a bad guy.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, he's not going out and doing these things like off the bat like Daredevil is.
Right.
So in a way, like, in Hell's Kitchen they need that, but they're not really asking for it.
They're not asking for it. They're asking for him.
They're asking for him, and they've already seen some of these heroes kind of come to terms with, like, okay, he's the devil of Hell's Kitchen, but he's doing some good. Like, maybe we need more of these people around.
So maybe they're coming around. Like, public perception is changing on the vigilantes.
Right.
And, I mean, that makes sense, too, because, I mean, a lot of people died during Jessica Jones, but she saved, specifically, a whole, like, boatload of people at the end of that series. So, like, you're right. Like, I could see, that, like, them finally going, you know what? Maybe we should ask for help.
Right.
So that's just really cool to see. I'm excited to see where it goes. It gave us a lot better look at the bad guys, Cottonmouth and Black Mariah. I'm guessing she just goes by Mariah in this because they're really playing up the politician aspect of it, but she's still a bad guy, which is still cool. But I was really, and they got a really good actress for it. But I was really hoping for someone like larger in life, similar to like. I mean, they picked Viola Davis to play Amanda Waller in the movies, but Black Mariah is very similar to Amanda Waller from the DC universe, where she's just like gigantic. Like, she is physically imposing, and they're really not doing that here. But I'm guessing she's still going to be a force to reckon with. I hope they also do that. She has ties to how Luke got his powers. Right. That's one thing they didn't mention at all.
Yeah,
they did. He did talk about being in prison. And we do know that is where he got his powers, even in the MCU. But we still don't know if they're going to show any of that. Do you think they're going to dive into that at all?
I feel like they are, just because, like, Jessica Jones, they hinted at it. And then also for Jessica herself, like, you still really don't know much about, like,
where she got
her powers from.
And it really seems like, and I know, like, the timeline's off, but it seems like they're tying them together at least where the experiments came from, because Daredevil, similar to Jessica, they both got it from like the oil spill, or not oil, but the chemical spills. It was just decades apart, and then they mentioned that the chemicals came from the same place where Luke was being experimented on in that prison. So we'll see. I hope they show it. It was my original.
Well,
plan,
the other thing is they're gonna go into the Defenders eventually. So I feel like showing how he got his powers kind of pushes that past, or at least that part behind you, so they can move on with
where we don't,
the base of the storyline. They don't have to do Luke Cage 2, where the whole thing is kind of finding out about how he got his powers.
Exactly.
Where
so
I feel
when
like
the
Jessica
Defenders
Jones, the second one's probably going to be at least half of that.
And they might even tie it in there. It might just set it up so we see those later on.
Right.
Because, like you said, when the Defenders come out, we don't want to be asking those questions. We want to have fun when they team up.
Right.
The Avengers was so fun because we got to see where they all came from in individual movies. And then we just got to watch them play together.
Yeah, they already got the origin story out of the way, and now we just have action.
Right. So they probably will do that. Yeah. But this doesn't seem like it's going to be a pure origin tale. Similar to all of them, Daredevil was probably the closest to a pure origin story. Because while Jessica Jones still showed everything that happened and what led up to her powers, it still didn't talk about it too much.
Right.
And there was way more to focus on, where Daredevil showed a lot of him being young.
Being young, about his dad, about exactly like the first episode, you see what happens.
Right.
In the beginning.
Exactly. And it shows you when he starts being trained by Stay.
Exactly.
And Jessica Jones was also a lot more psychological.
Right. And in same with like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, both got their powers later on in life.
Yeah.
Not as children. And Jessica technically was a child, but she was a teenager. And Luke got his while in prison as an adult. So there's not a big flashback period there. They could even do that as exposition and talk about it. They really don't even need to show anything but the actual procedure.
Right.
But I'm sure we'll see something of his prison life in there.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to get any more cameos? I mean, we already saw Stan Lee pop up. Do you think we're going to see maybe somebody from Kingpin's organization talking to Cottonmouth?
I mean, I feel like some... I guess this would be too soon for that. I was going to say, like, an Iron Fist one, but it's possible, but
it's possible.
But
we saw Iron Fist characters pop up in Daredevil before we even were sure we were getting an Iron Fist one. You know, I mean, we don't know she's Lady Crane, but she has the symbol from it.
She's Lady Crane.
Right, exactly. I mean, we've already had little hints, so hopefully we start to see that. And they could pull a big switcheroo like we didn't know in Jessica Jones, other than a few set pictures that Luke Cage was going to be involved. We didn't know how much involved. He was in several episodes.
Right, and then he wasn't.
And then he wasn't at all. Exactly, we forgot about him. Maybe Iron Fist shows up episode 4 and is just there. That would be
so cool.
That would be amazing, and they are shooting Iron Fist right now, so I'm guessing, you know, because they reuse a lot of the same assets, there's a good chance we might see at least something that is involved. So.
Yeah, you get a little bit of interaction between him and Power Man.
That would be really cool.
And then later on, they become best friends but hate each other. But
I wonder if they're gonna call him Power Man or ask him if he has a name, and someone's gonna on the news is gonna label him Power Man as a joke, and he's gonna be like, "Nah, I ain't me."
I feel like that could be a Danny Rand thing. It's just like Danny refers to him as Power Man.
That would be really cool. Like, what do they call you, Power Man? It's just like, no.
No, it's like, well, I'm gonna call you Power Man.
Exactly. I mean, and you know what? I just remembered they had pictures. We do see Luke Cage in his tiara because that's when he busts out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
Is when he is, and he's got the experiment on him, and he's wearing it. So that's right. Yeah. So we definitely will see some of that.
Yeah.
It just
dawned.
Exactly. It just dawned on me. All right. So that's what we think of the Luke Cage trailer. What is it? Is this trailer number 3 technically?
Of Luke Cage?
Maybe?
I think it's 2. I thought the first one was just that.
We had some teasers too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the final Luke Cage trailer. Anyways,
we still got a week.
Yeah, they better not.
We got 4 days.
I could piece together a lot of the storyline from that trailer if you really want to think about it. So I really hope they don't show us too much more because it's my job to look at it and I don't want to.
I want to at least see like 3 episodes where we didn't see any footage.
Yes, I mean, and we probably can. You know, if you piece together all of that probably all came from the first couple of episodes, which is the same thing they did with Daredevil and Jessica Jones,
where it seemed like you saw everything.
Exactly,
but it just took a turn so fast.
I think they really did that well with season 2 of Daredevil when we thought we saw everything, and that was literally the first episode.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, so they just put everything in the first episode.
Yep.
So that'll be cool. I really hope that you guys like it. Let us know in the comments below if you liked it, what you didn't like, and if you're excited for Luke Cage, period. Are we excited?
Oh, we're definitely excited. We're going to binge on Friday.
Yes, so we're not going to sleep, and you'll probably see our reaction on Friday, if not Saturday.
Yeah.
We're the Cage Trolls. We're out.